results. I think we did that as when I was governor.
It's at home or abroad. It's certainly not as an artist. Let me
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How are you this morning? My name is Pico Conway. Welcome back to When the Dust Settles on YouTube. And today is Thursday. And we got a lot of issues to cover, a lot of topics to cover today. First of all, we'll cover Republican presidential hopeful Asa Hutchinson decision to drop from the Republican presidential primary, and the president as a primary for president. You know, there are a long list of people. Christie drop out, Ramaswamy drop out, and now Hutchinson drop out. We also will talk about that. Nikki Haley is saying she's not going to debate with Ron DeSantis until Trump can get into the debate. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Hunter Biden's, the Republican House is suspending for now its effort to subpoena Hunter Biden. We'll talk about Pakistan. Pakistan just retaliated. Pakistan and Iran been having this situation. Iran on Tuesday, Iran strike Pakistan. Pakistan retaliated yesterday. We will talk about that. We'll talk about the IGAD, that is the Intergovernmental Assembly stuff in Africa. The decision that IGAD is deciding to intervene in the Sudanese crisis, and they invited Dagelo to their meeting, and Fatah, who's the leader of the Sudanese army, is threatening to pull Sudan out of the group. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about sports. Jose Marino has been fired from Roma, and we'll be talking about where he's going next. We will talk about Onana and Rogobert's song. We'll talk about Onana and Rogobert's song. Rogobert's song is the coach for Cameroon, and Onana. Andrew Onana is the goalkeeper. You know, he and Rogobert's song having these problems. He returned to the African Cup of Nations, and he thought he was going to play up in the game against Guinea, but he was benched by Rogobert's son. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Hutus rebels who have been relisted by the United States as a terrorist organization. We'll talk about that, and I still believe we'll talk about how they call it. My take. I still believe that Guinea has a good chance to win the African Cup of Nations. So first, join me for the next 30 minutes. We'll discuss all of these issues. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. My name is Pico Conway, and let's start with the Republican candidate dropping out. Hutchinson just dropped out of the race, right? And why is this important for this discussion? You know, people who have been principle-minded, you know, we as Republicans, we have deviated from our standard, the law and order, the policy issues. Now, Trump has hijacked the party. And everybody who speaks out against Trump almost everybody who spoke out against Trump is out of the race. His most vocal critic in the race was New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Chris Christie dropped out before the debate on Wednesday, last week Wednesday, and now Asa Hutchinson just dropped out. So you have Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley together with Trump. The reason I think this is important is that Republicans have to save America. Have to save America because we can't have people like Trump with 91 charges against him stay the front runner of the Republican Party. He win big. Let's give it to him. Trump won big in Iowa, but Iowa is a very small little state. Primary is small. We're going to see what happened in New Hampshire. What's going to happen in New Hampshire because Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley are really fighting hard in that state. And we're going to see what happens. But the bigger picture here is, what I think I get from the whole thing is, Nikki Haley approach is different, and I like that. Now that my guy, Chris Christie, is out of the race, I'm going to start supporting Nikki Haley. I was supporting Christie, giving my $10 contribution every month, but now I'm going to start supporting Nikki Haley and hope that she wins in Iowa, not Iowa, but in New Hampshire, to reset the whole thing. And then Hutchinson is gone. We're going to see what happened in New Hampshire, because New Hampshire primary is the biggest one, and it's going to be taking place next week. So we'll all be watching to see what happened in that race. I hope that Nikki Haley wins, and if she does win, it's going to really energize the never Trumpers to get on board and support Nikki Haley to the finish line. I think it's time that we Republicans take a female candidate in America. And I like her approach now. Nikki is saying that we don't want 80-year-old people to start to run this country. Actually, we are all getting old. I'm 55, going into 56. We are all getting old. But if Trump is criticizing Biden for being old, Trump is also going 80. So the both of them, if he's saying that they are all old. So I hope Nikki Haley now should start going after Trump, because everybody is afraid now. They were saying that Chris Christie went after Trump. Chris Christie out. Now what Chris Christie was saying, that the race wasn't between Ron DeSantis, Chris Christie at the time he was staying in the race, and Nikki Haley and Ramaswamy. The race was between all of them and Trump. But they didn't want to go after Trump. They didn't want Trump to participate. Now, Nikki is saying she's not going to go in any debate and let Trump participate. So, folks, we're going to see what happens in that direction. We're going to see how that pans out. So, if you have any take on this Republican primaries, please let me know your thought in the comment section below. Let's talk about soccer a little bit, then we'll go back to talking about. Let's talk about Rogebert's song. The African Cup of Nations is on. Those of you who are not familiar with soccer, African Cup of Nations happens every 2 years. And this year, as I said in my next video, please try to watch my last video. I discussed African Cup of Nations. African Cup of Nations. And I think that I said Guinea is going to win the African Cup of Nations. But let's talk about Rogebert's song, and let's talk about Onana. Andre Onana is the goalkeeper for Cameroon. He plays his club football in England for Manchester United. So according to the information we got, ESPN reported that there was an agreement between Onana and Manchester United and the Cameroonian squad that Onana will play the game between Manchester United and Tottenham, which drew 2-2 on Sunday. And then after that game, Onana will fly to the Ivory Coast to play for Cameroon. But Onana got, the long story short, Onana traveled the 5,000 miles, to get to Ivory Coast. I think took a bus or something, went on a private plane to the Ivory Coast, took a bus or train to the destination, and then when he got there, he didn't play. What's his name? Fabrice Odua played as they put him, and they didn't put Onana as the starting goalkeeper. So Onana was on the bench. Onana was not happy with that. There was heated exchange between Onana and Rigobert Song. Rigobert Song is the coach of Cameroon. And Rigobert Song and Onana have been having problems even during the World Cup. Onana was sent home because he had a disagreement with Rigobert Song. But for this my thing, I know most African players, and when they start making big money, they start to act a little bit arrogant against their African, coaches. I don't know the backstory of what must have happened between the two guys, and I'm trying to take side here. But the thing here is, even let's forget about the players, but many Africans, right? When they come to the West, they got education and they live in the West. They go back to Africa. They want to act so pompous and they want to act so big, braggadocious and showboating and stuff like that. Everybody in Africa is just dumb and they feel that they are the most educated, most advanced because they live in the West. I'm not saying that's the situation here, but we have had experience with African players, especially if the coach for that team is a black man. These guys come and they want to show that they are so superior to everybody. So I don't know the backstory, as I said, between Onana and Rigobert Song, but I think the relationship between them, there's no secret that these two individuals don't get along. From the World Cup in the last FIFA World Cup, and then the recent development. According to what we heard, Onana had to be Ahaji Diop had to calm Onana down because the two of them were going, at each other. But whatsoever the case is, I don't know whether Onana is going to play the next game. But whatsoever the case is, this is just a bar, it just show a bar. It just show it's a bad PR for Cameroon and Onana in particular, because it's a single incident having against the coach. But that aside, the game between Guinea and Cameroon was a very good game. And as I said, I didn't know that Gusi was not playing, Girisi was not playing, and Nambi Keita or Guinea was not playing. We also know that Vincent Abubakar didn't play that game for Cameroon. Abubakar for Cameroon didn't play. But whatsoever the case, I was talking to two Cameroonians who said that they don't think that Rigobert Song is the right coach for Cameroon. They feel that somebody in Boma or one of the guys were well qualified to coach Cameroon, but I had call name Samuel Eto'o took Rigobert Song to make Rigobert Song the coach of Cameroon. Whatsoever the case is, I just think that those two men, Rigobert Song and Andre Onana, has to put their differences behind. On the African Cup of Nations, I still believe that Guinea has a very good chance. Nambi Keita and what's his name? And Gurusi, both of them are silent. I don't know whether they're going to play that game. The two players are from Guinea. But if they should play the next game that Guinea has to play is going to be they're going to put up a very, very, tough resistance to anybody. They'll be playing Senegal. And they'll play Senegal and I think Guinea still has a real chance of advancing in this tournament and even maybe taking the tournament, because most of the players are playing in very good leagues in overseas. Folks, there you have it. Give me a thought. I think that Andre Onana and Rigobert Song and been having issue. I think they need to put their differences behind themselves and move forward in the interest of the country. Then I look at Joseph Marino. Joseph Marino is currently was coaching Roma in Syria, in Italy, but he has just been fired. You know, those of you who've been following soccer, you know, Joseph Marino has his own attitude problems, and he's just been fired from Roma. Roma is currently 9th place on the league table in Serie A. So he's just been fired, and I don't know. Do you think that any other clubs will want to take Marino? I don't know, but people are saying he might go to Portugal and coach Porto, or he might go to Newcastle to coach Newcastle, because Newcastle is doing well in the Premier League, but I think for the past 2-3 games they have been struggling. 4 games they have been struggling. So people are thinking that Jose Marino might be going to coach Newcastle. But I think Marino has his own attitude problems. Marino is always in problem with his coach and his club, and the FA that he's part of. So I don't really think that Marino should be coach for any of the good teams. You remember Marino? He won a lot of trophies. Let's give it to him. He coached Chelsea. He coached Manchester United. He coached Inter Milan. So he has experience, but I don't think he has the attitude. So the attitude is stink. So I don't know whether he's still going to be coaching, and I don't know where he's going to learn. So we'll be watching to see what happened between Marino and where he lands. People are saying he should be going to Saudi Arabia, Porto as a national coach. He might go to Portugal as a national coach. He might go to Porto. Porto has his his old club. He might go to Chelsea, or he might go to Newcastle, or he might go to Saudi Arabia. So tell me, you think what Marino is going to land? I don't know where he's going to land, but I just think Marino, he has to work on his attitude, because as a coach, you have to get a very good attitude to show a good example. Now he's leaving Roma in 9th place, and Roma has been struggling in the Serie A. So we're going to see where this guy lands, Marino. Folks, there you have it. Let's talk about something that has not been making big news before we come back to Sudan. Something that has not been making big news. If you've been following the case in Turkey, right? The president of Somalia's son, called Sheikh Mohammed, he was driving and he killed somebody in an accident in Turkey. I think they say you're driving a diplomatic car and he killed somebody in Turkey. And he's supposed to be sentenced to prison for 6 years, but now they said he had commuted that sentence, and he would only pay $900. I think 27,000 Lara. That is the Turkish money. And people are saying that the motorcycle rider was deprived of the justice that he needed, because this guy's father is president of Somalia, and Turkey is trying to invest in healthcare, invest in infrastructure and other things in Somalia. Turkey to try to flex its diplomatic muscles around Africa and around the world. So they are saying that this motorcycle rider didn't get the justice he deserved, because Sheikh Mohammed's father is the president of Somalia. Some reports say that he escaped the country, but we just got to know that he didn't escape the country, but they only gave him, he got to pay $900 fine for the accident. So you think that this case, if you are not following the case, read about the case, and let me know your thought in the section below. Yeah, folks, you are watching What It Does Settle. My name is Pico Conway, and We are talking about a lot of issues that are happening around the world. Let's talk about Iran and Pakistan, and then we'll also talk about the issue of United States striking Hutu rebels in the Red Sea again. Hutu rebels in Yemen. Iran on Tuesday, Iran strike what they describe as terrorists in Pakistan. And I'm just baffled, by Iran's approach. Why would Iran want to strike into Pakistan and knowing that Pakistan is going to respond to such a belligerent act? Iran, as you know, been supporting a lot of rebel groups around the country, around the world. Hezbollah has been supported by Iran. You get Yemen rebels have been supported by Iran, and the United States Navy has just seized a ship full of arms and ammunition that were destined for Hutu rebels in Yemen. But Iran denied any involvement, and Iran denied that it was sending any arms and ammunition to the rebels in Yemen. But the United States seized those things. And then just yesterday, U.S. carried on almost 18, 19 strikes, into Yemen, trying to degrade the military capabilities of these rebel groups. But between Pakistan, this is scary, between Pakistan and Iran struck Pakistan, they say, was going after a terrorist group, Iranian terrorist group that are based in Pakistan. In that attacks, 2 children were killed. And then Pakistan responded, and 11 people were killed in Iran. There's a scary situation because Pakistan is a very big military power. And Iran, too, is willing to flex its muscles. Before that, Iran strike in Baghdad, striking in the Kurdish area in Baghdad, saying that they were striking the Mossad, that is the Israel intelligence unit that was striking one of the headquarters in the Turkish area in Iraq. So you see that Iran is playing all these cards all over the place. But I think she's playing a very dangerous game. Iran is playing a very dangerous game. Besides supporting the Hutu rebels who are disrupting, trade in the Red Sea, Iran's attitude is just getting out of hand. If Iran wants to be a big player now, nobody wants war. War doesn't solve any problems. War doesn't solve any problem because it's like you strike me, I strike you, and we keep going back and forth. Look at Russia and Ukraine. With all the way Russia have been bombarding Ukraine, Ukraine is responding. The war is still going on. Israel and Hamas, war is going on. Israel just said that they discovered a very big turner, according to the Telegraph newspaper, that Israel said she just discovered a big turner on a hospital in Gaza that is capable of running. You can drive a car through that tunnel. So the conflicts all over the place it doesn't solve anything. Everybody, as I said in my last video, we all have to come together to solve these problems. You can't continue to use force and think that's how we're going to solve problems. The rebel activities in Iran itself, then in Pakistan. So we have to try to solve the problem. Iran striking, taking such a bold move, striking in Palestine and Pakistan is just troubling. Knowing that Pakistan is going to respond and respond forcefully. So, but the 2 countries in that area, let me just say, 2 countries in that area, there have been skirmishes going on for a very long time. So we'll be watching. We're going to watch it over there. We hope that the international community can call on both parties to pull back. We don't want a full-scale war in Asia. I learned that India was saying that she backed Iran. Pakistan and India always in conflict. So I know it's no surprise that India will have to come down on the side of Pakistan, on the side of Iran. Excuse me. So, folks, let me know your thoughts. What you think? How you think that situation between Iran and Pakistan is going to unfold? You think that was the end? You hit me, I hit you, and that's the end of it, or you think this going to spiral out of control and lead to something bigger than those two strikes that just occurred? So let's go back to Hunter Biden, right? Hunter Biden, as you know, was subpoenaed by the House, the U.S. House, and they wanted him to testify behind closed door, but then he refused to do that. He said he wanted to testify in public because he don't want his testimony to leak. So the House wanted to subpoena him, but then the House now is saying that they're going to give him some time to appear before the House. But his lawyer, Abby Laurie is that his name? Laurie is saying that the subpoena that they issued before, they have to send a new one because of some legal technicalities. So we'll be watching this thing and see how Hunter Biden approaches this situation. Hunter Biden and his lawyer approach this situation. We don't want this election year to be consumed by impeachment inquiry of Biden and Hunter Biden, and all those things. I think it just distract from things that Americans need to pay close attention to. So, folks, there you have it. Hunter Biden and the GOP. GOP are still fighting, over this issue. Hunter Biden say he want to testify in public, but I think they are reaching a stage now in which Hunter Biden might be willing to appear before the House Judicial Committee to answer questions from the Republican-led House. Folks, there you have it. I think we'll be watching and see what happens. What happens next? Let's talk about IGAD, the Intergovernmental Assembly Development in Salah. Let's talk about Sudan, right? Sudan is in East Africa, and Sudan has been having a lot of political issues since independence. Let me go that far. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the recent fighting that is going on between the RDF, the RSF, and the Sudanese government. Dagelo is the leader of the RSF, and then Fatah is the leader of the army. The two groups have been fighting for the last, let's say, almost a year or a year plus, and almost 12,000 people have died. So the regional group IGAD, they call them, is saying that to try to solve this conflict, and they invited Dagelo, who is the leader of the paramilitary group. But then Fatah, who's the leader of the Sudanese army, is saying that he will not attend. He's going to suspend cooperation with IGAD because of that development. So, folks, what you think? My African brothers, what do you think about this development? Sudan has to try to find ways to solve their political problems. We have been having too many problems. Coup d'etat, rebel activities in Sudan forever. Sudan was split into two. You have Sudan, now you have South Sudan, that is country on its own. Why we can't live in peace? Why our people have to be, driven out of their homes because of these conflicts that are happening across the continent? As I always say, that the only path to peace is through negotiation. Through negotiation, the both sides, Dagelo, General Dagelo of the RUF, and Fatah of the army, they have to sit down to solve the problems. If anybody could win on the battlefield, that would have been done. The conflict in Sudan is troubling. When I was growing up, I had in Liberia, in West Africa, that's my country of birth. I had people from Sudan. One of my teachers at Rodrigo Multilateral High School was from Sudan. He has a very, very good sense of humor, but he was a disciplinarian. He always make you to understand, what you did that was wrong, and he was willing to reprimand students when they went off track. So just imagine that time. I'm talking about 1986, 85, 86, 87. Up to today, we still having conflicts in Sudan. So they both men, Dagelo and Fatah, got to bring their forces together, find an amicable solution, find a long-term solution to the problems in Sudan, so that Sudanese can live a life free of conflict. Free of conflict. That's too many years to be fighting war in Sudan. Too many years to be fighting war in Sudan. Say 1956, coup d'etat, rebel activities, coup d'etat, rebel activities. That just doesn't show that we have the power to govern ourselves efficiently. When I say ourselves, I mean we Africans. And we are capable enough of governing ourselves. We have shown that on many occasions. But we can allow a few group of people in these countries to continue to undermine the progress of the continent as a whole. So, Dagelo and Fatah, those two leaders have to come together, and Fatah got to negotiate, because there is no military solution to this conflict. There is no military solution to the conflict in Sudan. The only way out is for them to discuss a peaceful settlement to the crisis. First, there you have it. Tell me what you think. You think there's a military solution to the problems in Sudan? Let me know your thoughts in the section below. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit to Pakistan and Iran, and then let's look at the broader issue about the rebels in Yemen. The thing about having these conflicts and using the Yemenis rebels to attack ships in the Red Sea is troubling, because Iran has to know that people all around the world, whether they believe that whether they think that the conflict in between Israel and Hamas should be solved, I don't think people want the prices of things to go up, because even people in Yemen, people in Iran, Pakistan, other places will all be affected by the high prices. Everybody pocketbook going to be affected. So we hope that the conflict or the firing of rockets, drones, and missiles against commercial ships in the Red Sea will stop. And the person who can stop those people, the country that has the ability to do that, is Iran. Iran has a lot of internal problems. Iran has a lot of internal problems. They can't continue to create difficulties for everybody around the world by using their prices to cause trouble all across the world. We cannot do that. Now they are striking. I was reading something on the internet, on Twitter, and somebody was saying that Iran is striking a country that is a Muslim country. I don't want to be religious here. I don't know why they are religious and why have you Muslim, Christian, Jewish, and every other religion. We all want to live in peace, and we want to live in peace. We want to live together. So you say Pakistan and Iran, they are all predominantly Muslim countries. Why should they be fighting among themselves? We should say why people should be causing conflicts around the world. Whether you Muslim, you Christian, you Jewish, you whatsoever religion you are, we all need to live in peace. No matter what, we all need to live in peace. So the Hutus rebels that continue to attack ships in the sea, they know that other people will have to respond. The United States and Great Britain and the other countries will have to respond, because we can have these people attacking, innocent ships, people who have nothing to do, or who are all trying to make sure that the conflict in the Middle East is solved. We can't keep hitting them, and putting people risk their lives in the Red Sea, shipping lines, ships, and commercial ships in the Red Sea at risk. We can't do that. We hope that people who are close to these guys will tell them that's not their approach. That's their approach. Everybody in Sudan, not Sudan, everybody in Yemen wants to live a better life. We all are trying hard. When I say we all, people who have the ability to do that, not me in particular, to try hard to solve the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Fire cannot put a fire. The water puts a fire. So we got to try to see what we can do. So folks, before I conclude, I just want to say that I just want to come back to the African Cup of Nations, right? The African Cup of Nations is ongoing. I think today games are going on. Egypt's also be playing. I know before this come out, the results might be coming up. So if you in Africa and you watching the African Cup of Nations, give me your thought. I still believe that Guinea has a very good chance of going far in this tournament, and after they go to the next the round, I will make my assessment again. But I think Guinea has a very good chance of going far in the tournament. The leading, let's say the current champions, Senegal won again 3-0 against Cape Verde. Again, Senegal will be playing Cameroon. That's a game I want to see. That's a game I want to see, and I also want to see the game between Ghana and Egypt. They sort of be playing today. That game, those games are very tough games. Those are games that people want to see. So, folks, we discussed a lot of issues today. Let me just summarize what we're talking about. I want to encourage you to watch our video. Please don't forget to subscribe to When the Dust Settles. We talk about Hutchinson dropping out of the race, and Nikki Haley is saying that she's not going to debate with Ron DeSantis. They're supposed to debate, but she says she's not going to do that unless Trump is there. I think that's a very good approach from her. We talk about IGAD, that is IGAD, the Intergovernmental Assembly Development in Africa, that is inviting Dagelo, who's the leader of the RSF in Sudan, that's the paramilitary group, and the Sudanese army led by Fatah to talk to find a peaceful conflict to the Sudanese crisis that has killed almost 12,000 people since it started. We talk about that. We talk about Pakistan and Iran. Both countries have been trading, and Pakistan retaliated against Iran after Iran struck Pakistan on Tuesday. Pakistan retaliated and they killed 11 persons in Iran on Wednesday. Experts are saying that they think that will be the start of those strikes. We'll be watching and we'll bring you the details of those things. We talk about Marino in sports. We talk about Marino. Joseph Marino, he was just coaching Roma in Serie A in Italy, but he has been fired. Roma is struggling, and people are saying he might be going to Saudi Arabia, he might be going to Newcastle, he might go to Chelsea, or he might go to Porto, or serve as a national coach for Portugal. So we'll see where Joseph Marino lands, and we'll be following the development. Then we talk about Andre Onana and Rigobert Song of Cameroon. I said that Africans, or most Africans, when they come from the West, they want to show they are so superior than people on the continent of Africa, and they don't want to respect black coaches. But Rigobert Song, I'm not saying that's the situation that transpired between Onana, who played for Manchester United in England, and Rigobert Song. I'm not saying that's the situation. But Rigobert Song didn't play Onana after Onana took a private jet back to Africa to play in the African Cup of Nations. The game that Onana supposed to play in that game, and the 1-1 between Guinea and Cameroon. So we'll be seeing Cameroon next game going to be against Senegal. That's a very tough game. So we'll talk about that, and then we concluded by talking Hunter Biden and the Republicans. Republicans are saying that they're going to give Hunter Biden a break, and there will be maybe drafting another subpoena for Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden lawyer is saying that his client will appear, but they got to write a new subpoena for his client. So folks, there you have it. My name is Pico Canway. Please don't forget to subscribe to When the Dust Settles. We are very appreciative to those of you who subscribe to our channel. We hope you guys have a very blessed day. We'll talk to you next week with all the latest developments happening around the world. Have a great day, and bye for now.